Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored Never Boring and my review of issue 57 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine, the Partworks magazine from Hachette Publishing in association with Games Workshop. This is a weekly magazine priced at $7.99, which is designed to introduce people to the world of Warhammer 40k, particularly through the Ultramarines and the Death Guard. Every week you get plastic miniatures or hobby supplies such as paints and brushes. And in this particular issue, issue 57, you are getting paint. What paints do you get? You get blue paint. 2 pots of blue paint. We're going to take a quick look at these and have a chat. First of all, I'm going to move the magazine out of the way. And just got to say, I think they forgot to glue mine this time because I've just taken this out of the plastic wrap and it's falling to bits. Maybe glue is at a premium. Obviously these magazines are designed to separate out, to put them in binders, but I have never had one just fall completely to bits before. So there we go. These are our paints. We are getting 1 pot of Thousand Suns blue and 1 pot of Temple Guard blue. And this is because in this particular issue they are going to show us how to paint plasma effects on plasma incinerators and scenery and all the other stuff that has plasma all over it in the Warhammer 40k universe. Now, normally, this magazine represents really good value in terms of the contents that you get on the cover. However, not so much this week. This week, we have 2 pots of paint which retail for $2.75 each. If you were to walk into a Warhammer store, $2.75 is what you would pay. So, that is a total of £5.50 for the 2 pots of paint. But the magazine actually costs $7.99, so we are running at a deficit of $2.49. Maths for the win. Now, see, if they'd have introduced just 1 more pot of paint, if there'd been 3 pots of paint and at $2.75, you would just be, edging into value there. Especially when you consider that you can pick these pots of paint up for like 20% discount online. Of course, then you have to pay for postage normally unless you're putting it in with a big order. But yeah, just not really enough value there. Obviously, you do get the magazine, and the value of the magazine is what you make of it. But yeah, it's always a little bit disappointing when the value of the cover products doesn't exceed the value of the magazine. But you can't have it all the time, and in other issues the value has been exceptional. So, paints for painting plasma. Lots of different ways to paint plasma. Let's see how they're going to do it. So here's the magazine, which really, is absolutely falling to bits. It's also scarred a little bit on the front, and this is a little bit of a bugbear that I have with this subscription. I get 4 issues once a month in a bundle, and they are just shoved into a plastic bag. So you've got plastic miniatures layered between a magazine. The magazine gets all scarred up, and also it happened with this particular bundle. There had obviously been an impact on one of the pots of paint, and the lid had popped slightly, which was not good. So, nothing had come out. It hadn't broken the seal, and the top hadn't come off completely. But if something hit one of these pots just right, I do feel like you could get a messy situation. So yeah, that's a little bugbear. Nothing major. So here we go, issue 57. As always with this magazine, at the start we get some fluff. This time we're getting fluff on the Raven Guard, those birdie boys, the sneaky chaps. So we've got background on those guys, a legacy of secrecy. It is nice that although the magazine focuses on Ultramarines and Death Guard as the factions that you are collecting, they do tell you more about other factions, other alien races, other chapters of Space Marines. It's pretty comprehensive, and you get quite a bit of fluff in every magazine. Obviously, this magazine isn't introducing any new miniatures, so normally you would get a build guide in the magazine and then instructions on painting those miniatures. In this particular issue, we're going to see a little bit more fluff because they've got to fill that space that would have build instructions normally. So we've got some stuff on Stern Guard veterans, some cool painted miniatures, and then we've got a bit on Demons of Nurgle, and in particular Kugath Plaguefather, who he's the guy who was a Nurgling, isn't he? He fell into a vat that Nurgle was making, and he drank it, and then he turned into a demon. I think. Is that the guy? Is that the guy? Or am I? He's a great unclean one of incredible bulk and terrible power. Yeah. Yep, he was once a mere Nurgling, balancing on the shoulder of his master. Just as the plague god was brewing his most deadly toxin, Kugath tumbled in, and that's Nurgle's homage to Asterix. A bit more on Kugath, and then we're into Tzeentch. And yeah, this magazine's really in bits. Glue is expensive. The Pyroclastic Conclave. Say that 10 times fast. And we've got a bit of a Tzeentch showcase. Lovely. Nice painted stuff. Look, it's all the folks from Silver Tower all hanging out. So quite a bit of fluff in this particular issue, and then we are into plasma effects. And how are they doing it? We are applying Thousand Suns blue, right? And then edge highlighting with Temple Guard blue. Is that it? Is that what they're doing? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Those are the two paints that are on the cover of them. Yeah, that's what they're doing. There are lots of different ways to paint plasma effects. This is obviously a way that is intended to be very easy. Thousand Suns blue, and then just highlighting with the lighter blue. And in fact, on the larger elements, these are the pipes that they gave in previous issues, they're actually just dry brushing. So it's a really quick, effective way to get the plasma effect, but I'm not that impressed with that plasma effect. It looks a little bit too much like that's just a ridged bit of sewage pipe or something. Yeah, it just looks like corrugated plastic piping more so than an actual plasma effect. I mean, obviously it looks a million times better than not having any paint on those coils at all, but it's not the best. Like I say, there are many ways to paint plasma effects, and I've got a painting guide from, I've got it just here, I fished out just for this occasion. This is the book that comes with the No Fear starter set, which is a really good starter set, and this is a really good book. And it's got sort of simple painting guides in here. And I fished this out just because I assumed that I knew we would be getting a different painting technique, because this painting technique for plasma effects actually uses Gulliman blue glaze. And obviously it's doing Keramite white, then the Gulliman blue glaze, and then it does a highlight of white of some description. I think it's Scar white, is it? Yeah, white Scar. Which gives a much brighter effect that I think looks a little bit more glowy. There are other ways, again, of doing it with dry brushing. You can just keep layering. I know that Warhammer TV has a really good plasma effects painting guide, but they use about 5 paints to get the effect because they keep layering up increasingly brighter colours, but it looks fantastic when it's done. So there are lots of ways of doing it. I thought this might have been a good issue to actually introduce the concept of glazes. Now obviously you don't need to use glazes, and you can actually make your own glazes. But if they're introducing Citadel paints and all of the different types of paints that are in the range, this felt to me like it would have been a good opportunity to introduce the concept of glazing and actually having Gulliman Blue glaze included with the magazine. But obviously they did not go down that route. They went for something a little more consistent with the previous painting guides that they've done. Like I say, it's not bad. It's not bad, and obviously it looks much better than not painted at all. But yeah, it's not. I don't know. Maybe I should do some kind of comparison at some point and paint some one way, some another way, and see what the difference is on the tabletop. Sometimes it's hard to tell from photography exactly what is going on and what the differences are. But yeah, I would have expected something a little bit different with this issue, but it's not the end of the world. Scorched Earth. That would be the end of the world, wouldn't it? What have we got here? This is a new mission, a new scenario. We have got a plasma harvest. What have we got? The Death Guard and Space Marines are about to clash once more. This time, the conflict revolves around the plasma storage facilities. Both forces must capture and control as many of the plasma storage devices as they can before the battle ends. The plasma terrain pieces highlighted on the map are objectives. These are items of terrain that we received in an earlier issue. To hold an objective, you must have more models than the enemy within 3 inches at the end of the game. Measure this distance from the closest part of the terrain model. And then that's it. Victory conditions are eliminate the enemy warlord for 1 victory point. Each objective is 1 victory point. Have at least 1 unit in the enemy's deployment zone is 1 victory point. Game lasts 5 battle rounds. Pretty straightforward. Take and hold. They've had quite a few take and hold objectives, scenarios. So yeah, there's not really a lot more they could introduce, really. All these elements of terrain have already been provided. All they've done is slap some plasma paint on them. So it's about what you would expect and all you can expect, really. But that's it. That's the end of the magazine. It really is the end of the magazine. Look at it. It's a state. Let's have a quick look at what's coming up next. Next we have... It's a Space Marine attack bike to go with our other bikers. That's issue 58, which will be the last issue from my current bundle. And then issue 59 is a bunch of Ultramarines. This is actually a frame from the No Fear and Dark Imperium starter sets. We will look at that another time, obviously. For now, as I wrestle with all my bits of paper, for now, what I do at the end of all of these videos is I do a little running total. The running total is the cost of subscribing to the magazine at that $7.99 a week versus the cost of purchasing all the products that you get on the cover of the magazine at full retail price from a Warhammer store. So I'm not taking into account the potential for online discounts, and I'm not taking into account any value inherent in the magazine itself or any free gifts that subscribers get. It's just retail price versus subscription price, which hopefully some people will find useful. But that is it from me for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you have liked the video, please press the like button, and if you have really liked the video, please consider subscribing to the channel if you do not already do so. And hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.